Robert Lowell by John Carkeek. Robert Lowell was a great poet, but his spirit was injured because of certain issues, like his manic depression or bipolar disorder, and that he seemed incapable of loving. Robert Lowell was extremely smart. He first attended Harvard, but got in a fight with his parents and moved. He graduated summa cum laude, or with the greatest distinction, from Kenyon College. He was never happy, although he lived a very luxurious life. He was married 3 times to 3 different women, and they influenced his work. Robert Lowell's poems mirror his inability to love and be happy with the happiness of something or someone else. For example, in the poem Skunk Hour, in line 28, he said, "Cars that lay together hull to hull." He was reflecting his inability to love through the cars in a very perverted way. Also, in another poem, Man and Wife, he shows his unhappiness and regret in lines 12 and 13. "And dragged me home alive, O my petite, clearest of all God's creatures." The first art connection is a painting called A Room in New York by Edward Hopper. Edward Hopper was an American realist painter that felt the same way. He had a tough relationship with his wife, and this is where the painting stems from. The painting, A Room in New York, was finished in 1932. Edward Hopper recollected the painting through all of his years of walking in New York. The painting shows a struggling couple. Here there is a man reading a newspaper who is unintentionally ignoring his wife. His wife is bored and turns away her head, but her body still faces the man. The woman wants to be noticed, and the man seems to love the woman, but does not realize what he is doing. He's pushing her away, and the love seems to be gone. This is like the relationship between Robert Lowell depicts in Man and Wife. But the roles are reversed. In Man and Wife, the woman seems to ignore the man. Now, 12 years later, you turn your back. Like in Room in New York, the love is gone, and there is no happiness. The next connection is the song Soundtrack to My Life by Kid Cudi. The song Soundtrack to My Life was a relatively big hit in 2009. In this song, Kid Cudi uses life experiences, like Lowell, to show his hatred for where his life has gone and to show where he wants to be. Kid Cudi is a rising artist who combines hip-hop with alternative rock. His real name is Scott Mescudi, and he was nicknamed Kid Cudi. He is a relatively new artist with only 1 album published, Man on the Moon. From this album, we get the song Soundtrack to My Life. The song is more or less a history of Kid Cudi's life. It's at least a history of all the bad things that happened to Scott Mescudi. It has a negative mood, and the beat adds to that. But the song touches on the future and what he hopes to squeeze from it. Through all of verse 2, he explains to the listener how he sees his life so far. He puts his life in a very bad light. This is the same way that Robert Lowell feels, and he expresses through his poems. Kid Cudi feels like he's alone in the world. Ignorance to cope, man. Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is love, and I need that. Kid Cudi is looking for love, just like Robert Lowell. Then, he goes on to say, I just need a thoroughbred cook when I'm hungry. Kid Cudi doesn't need much, but he wants love. This is an idea that Lowell expresses many times throughout his poems. He finishes by trying to lie to himself, but he cannot do it. Never truly satisfied, I am happy, that's just the saddest lie. This is the best line in the song because it shows how he really feels, but it also shows that he must cover up his feelings. Through the song, Kid Cudi shows his emotions and his feelings.
But they all didn't see the little bit of sadness in me. Scotty, I've got some issues that nobody can see, and all of these emotions are pouring out of me. I bring them to the life in you. It's only right. This is the soundtrack to my life.